high. Engine of growth. As growth-minded leaders, start with a belief in human potential and development, both their own and other people's. Instead of using the company as a vehicle for their greatness, they use it as an engine of growth for themselves, the employees, and the company as a whole. To prove the above, let us throw light on Jack Welch won $14 billion to $490 billion. When Jack Welch took over GE or General Electric in 1980, the company was valued at $14 billion. 20 years later, it was valued by Wall Street at 490, that is $490 billion. It was the most valuable company in the world. Fortune American multinational business magazine called Jack Welch the most widely admired, studied and imitated CEO or Chief Executive Officer of his time. His total economic impact is impossible to calculate. According to the news in the New York Times, an American daily newspaper, Steve Bennett, the CEO or Chief Executive Officer of Intuit Inc., an American business software company, said, "I learned about nurturing or taking care of employees from my time at GE or General Electric from Jack Welch." He would go directly to the frontline employees or workers to figure out what was going on or to hear what they had to say. Jack Welch was obviously a busy guy, an important guy, but even then, Jack Welch never stopped visiting the factories and hearing from the workers. These were people Jack Welch respected, learned from, and in turn nurtured or took care of. Then there is the emphasis on teamwork, not the royal I. It's not the "I am a hero" or "I am a superstar," although he could easily lay claim to both. According to Jack Welch, "I hate having to use the first person or I. Nearly everything I have done in my life has been accomplished with other people. These people filled my journey with great fun and learning. They often made me look better than I am." There is a whole chapter titled "Too Full of Myself" about the time he was on an acquisition or purchase role and felt he could do no wrong. Then he bought Kidder Peabody, a Wall Street investment banking firm. It was a disaster that lost hundreds of millions of dollars for GE or General Electric company. According to Jack Welch, the Kidder experience never left me. It taught him that there's only a razor's edge between self-confidence and hubris, or the fact of somebody being too proud. This time hubris or the fact of somebody being too proud won, and taught me a lesson I would never forget, said Jack Welch. What Jack Welch learned was this: true self-confidence is the courage to be open to welcome change and new ideas, regardless of their source. Real self-confidence is not reflected in a title, an expensive suit, a fancy car, or a series of acquisitions or purchases. Real self-confidence is reflected in your mindset, your readiness to grow. Well, humility or shyness is a start. But what about management skills? From his experiences, Welch learned more and more about the kind of manager he wanted to be. A growth-minded manager, a guide, not a judge. If we are managing good people who are clearly eating themselves up over an error, our job is to help them through it. Our job is to understand them and be supportive, said Jack Welch. He learned how to select people for their mindset, not their pedigrees or a person's family history, especially when this is impressive. Originally, academic pedigrees impressed him. He hired engineers from MIT, Princeton and Caltech. But after a while, he realized that wasn't what counted. Eventually, I learned that I was really looking for people who were filled with passion and a desire to get things done. A resume didn't tell me much about that inner hunger, said Jack Welch. Then came a chance to become the CEO or Chief Executive Officer. Welch made the pitch on the basis of his capacity to grow. He promised to develop. He got the job and made good on his promise. Immediately, he opened up dialogue and the channels for honest feedback. He quickly set to work asking executives what they liked and disliked about the company and what they thought needed changing. Then he spread the word. This company is about growth, not self-importance. He shut down elitism or the belief that some people should be treated in a special way. He got rid of brutal bosses. Management had to practice our values, said Welch. The approved way to foster or encourage productivity was now through mentoring, not through terror. And he rewarded teamwork rather than individual genius. Lesson 1. Jack Welch was not a perfect person, but he was devoted to growth. This devotion kept his ego in check, kept him connected to reality, and kept him in touch with his humanity. In the end, it made his journey prosperous and fulfilling for thousands of people. Lesson 2. Jack Welch is fascinating or appealing because he transformed or changed completely, especially in a way which improved GE or General Electric Company. He did this by rooting out the fixed mindset and putting a culture of growth and teamwork in its place. Lesson 3. Growth-minded leaders don't talk royalty or power. They talk journey, an inclusive, learning-filled, rollicking or joyful journey. Bye.